Congrats on the win and the series win.
Thanks.
This time 2 days ago, people were talking about, can Tennessee clinch the SEC? And now your team won back-to-back days and handed in their first series loss of the year. Just what did the team do to dig deep and come out with a series win?
Well, shoot, they just stayed the course and they competed their butts off all weekend. I mean, I thought we played really well on Saturday too, and we just didn't get the win. And they just fought. I don't know. I'm so proud of them. It was such a huge weekend, and obviously we saw Hannah Kamenzen step up big time. I mean, her 2 outings yesterday and today were outstanding. And then obviously comboing her with Shanice worked in our favor. The other pitchers were ready too, and I felt great about them. We just really liked what Ha looked like against Tennessee's offense. And but anyways, sorry, I'm rambling. I'm so proud of them. It was huge. They just fought their butts off the entire weekend, and Tennessee is really, really tough. And we're tough too. So big weekend for us.
Shanice, on the post-game SEC broadcast, they had her on the mic, and she said that she couldn't come in there and let what Hannah had done go to waste. I feel like so many times this year, it's almost been the other way around, where there's other people trying to go in and protect what Shanice has done. Just how proud of Hannah were you?
Oh gosh, I mean, I have chills thinking about it. Just for Shanice to make that statement is huge. I mean, we all got to see just how well Ha was in the zone. You know, she was just locked in and just being really, really crafty the last 2 days. They are a really, really tough lineup, and they make really great adjustments. And so for Ha to do what she did back-to-back days is pretty incredible. And so it's cool to hear that that's, you know, what Shanice said. Shanice had her back. The whole team had her back. It was pretty cool.
And then last thing I'll ask is just whenever you went out there and had Hannah intentionally walk a batter and it loads the bases and then gets that really the inning-ending double play, just how big of momentum was that, not only, you know, in that moment, but then with the lineup coming up to bat?
It was huge. I have no idea who we had coming up after, to be honest. You're like just so locked into, you know, what you're doing at that point. And Pooney had some really great at bats off of us, and you know, we just really liked the matchup of Ha against Butte there with the lefty, and obviously she made a tremendous pitch and got, I mean, if you could draw it up, you could order it up. That's exactly what we would want to do, obviously, is get a one hopper back to the pitcher. But Ha was just locked in. It was a big moment. You know, she said, we're gonna walk her, we're gonna dig in on Butte and West, and she didn't even question it. She's ready to go. So I'm just really, really proud of her. It was huge.
Thanks, Courtney, and congrats again.
Thanks.
Jason.
Hey, Coach, could you talk a little bit about Tennessee's Pickens, how well she performed today and just battled the lineup from top to bottom?
Oh, she's a special talent. I mean, we prepared for her speed this week, and I don't think you could even prepare at the right level for her speed. I mean, she throws smoke, and then has an off speed that's it's just not fair at times, you know. So I just am really proud of the team of just kind of knowing she's going to get hers. And then just as the game went, our timing got better. Obviously Rue lined it up big time, but you saw it as the game went, our timing got better and better, and we just needed to time it up. And it was, I mean, that's what softball is, you know, when you're playing at your best, is just knowing that she's going to get hers. And, you know, that next at bat might be the biggest one, or the next pitch might be the biggest one. And they just stayed really businesslike and stayed the course, and really, really proud of them, really happy for them.
Thank you. And last question, what are your thoughts on having the SEC tournament starting next week here?
I think it's really exciting. I'm excited to host it at Bogle. I don't know if all our people are quite as excited. They have to work a lot harder than me. But this is such a, I mean, I think we have just an amazing stadium. Our fan base is huge. Our people do an incredible job. We get to see Austin's work. Austin's going to be very tired at the end of the week, but his work on the field, our field is just so nice. And so I'm excited to showcase all our people and how great they are. So it'll be really exciting.
Thanks, Coach.
Lovely.
Talk to me a little bit about how disciplined you have to be when you get mic'd up like that, especially in a big game like this. I'd probably, my career would probably end if I had one of those on.
Well, I don't know if I was as disciplined as I should have been. Grace had to, she's like at the end of the game, she's like, I'm really tired of listening to you. But hopefully she filtered it enough. There were times that I wasn't as disciplined as I should have been, but you know, I think it's fun. I think they do a good job of just putting out, you know, information that maybe shows our personalities or maybe some strategy pieces, hopefully. Obviously it shows us getting excited. I'd like it to show something a little bit more meaty, you know. I know I watch wanting to see what other coaches are going to say and what they're going to do, and a lot of times it shows them just cheering. So hopefully there was some meat to it. Hopefully it didn't show any colorful language or anything like that, but I don't know. I don't think they try to put us in a bad light, but there's definitely some stuff they're going to have to filter out.
Appreciate it.
Order.
Coach, I'd ask the players, you know, about winning a big series like this right before the SEC tournament and hosting, you know, how does that get your team prepared and the players prepared, you know, having such a setting in your home park?
Well, I mean, every game we play in this conference, it prepares you and it tests you and it challenges you. And I do think that as we've moved through this year, we've had some highs and some lows. And I think that as you move forward and where we're at right now, I'm excited about how we're playing. And so, you know, I'm excited about that more so just for us in general. You know, we have a really big series at Missouri next week. So hopefully we can continue this momentum into Columbia and then bring it home with us for the tournament. But I just really like how we're coming together and how we're firing and you know, it's at the right time. And I think we're using all those lessons that we've learned along the way, and it's made us closer. And so more than that, I'm just happy about how we're playing right now. And then hopefully we can do that in a few days at Columbia.
And that leads into my next question, just how this team is playing and firing on all cylinders seems like the perfect time. You know, do you think this is kind of the perfect timing where you're at on the season to be what you could say peaking?
I don't know if it's perfect timing because we still have, you know, a few weeks out, you know, of postseason. We have a really big weekend in Missouri. We have SEC tournament. We have regionals. So as long as we can kind of sustain this and continue, I just think we're kind of doing this. So I don't know that we've peaked yet, but I like how we're playing. I like how we're fighting together. I like our approach. And so hopefully we can just continue going up with it for the next handful of weeks. Play as long as we can.
Last thing for me is about just Hannah and really solidifying that number 2 lockdown spot and how important that will be heading into postseason play. Just talk about her dominance the past 2 weekends and how important that will be come SEC and regional postseason play.
Oh, I mean, it's hugely important. I mean, she's thrown some really big innings for us. And you know, what she did with Tennessee's lineup, I mean, just speaks volumes to just her composure and her competitiveness. They are really complete throughout. I know I've given them a lot of credit, and I think really highly of their staff and what they do with their team and with their adjustments. And Ha just kept, you know, doing her thing and working her defense and trusting her stuff. And just her composure was so big. But we had 3 other pitchers that were chomping at the bit to get out there too. And we were ready to use all of them. And we were just going to kind of go and just try to, you know, go and make changes as we need to. And Ha just settled in and, you know, got us to where we could get to Shanice at the end. But I'm really pleased, obviously, with how Ha's throwing. I mean, she's been huge for us. Shanice is huge, but the other 3 have thrown some really big innings too. And so I'm really happy with our collective staff right now and everything that all 5 of them are doing. Eric?
Going into this game, did you have an idea of, hey, maybe we're going to go by committee, and then she was pitching so well that you left her alone? Or what? Take me through the game plan going into this one.
Yeah, we had an order that we were going to go to. And, you know, we quite honestly, we're going to do that yesterday also. We're going to go hard, and we knew the order that we wanted to go in, and they knew what it looked like when they needed to be ready, and when we would go there. And obviously yesterday, Ha, threw, what'd she throw? 4, a little over 4, and then Shanice went in, and today we're like, okay, well, we're gonna go Ha again. And some of that was, one, how good she looked yesterday and how good she's looked over the stretch of time, but also it just looking at our lineup and just the things that we can do and the changes that we can make, because Ha can hit and play right field and Shanice can hit. And so you can just have a lot more changes, and we were expecting to do more. We were ready to do more, but she settled in. She pitched her tail off. I could not be more proud of her. But I know those other 3 were ready. You're probably looking at me like, hey, yo, you said we we're going to go in.
Well, when you're throwing zeros, it's hard to take out a pitcher that's throwing zeros. And I know she's been throwing well, but this is Tennessee, one of the best offenses in the country. Chris Malvo does a great job with that lineup. What can this mean for her moving forward from a confidence standpoint, not just the rest of this year, but the rest of her career? I would imagine this could be a big moment for her from that standpoint.
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Eric. She should just it should just fuel her confidence. Absolutely. I just being able to go back-to-back days with a lineup like theirs, when they're turning over the lineup, 3 times. She's facing Kiki Malloy, who's one of the best players in the country. She's incredible. She's really fun to watch when she's not in the opposing dugout. And just, what she was able to do, how she was breaking her ball, like how she was attacking the zone, commanding the strike zone, mixing her speeds. She just had confidence in all her stuff and confidence in her defense. And she should walk out of here feeling incredibly confident, not just about what she did, but what she's done and what she'll continue to do.
Senior weekend's always emotional. What was this senior weekend like for you?
Well, it was emotional. These 4 seniors are, they're incredible. They've meant so much to our program, but they mean a ton to our lives, and they're just tremendous humans. Obviously we got to see them on the field, and you guys get to see how they compete and how they carry themselves on the field. But they're who they are is so beyond that and off the field, and they're just tremendous. And I just couldn't be more proud of just the strong women that they are and how they represent our program and everything. And so I always tell them they're stuck with me forever, like it or not. But it is emotional, because they chose this program and they trusted us, and they compete for us, and whether they've been here 1 year or they've been here 4, they're a Razorback forever, and they've made a lasting impact on our program and our lives. So I love them dearly.
My last question: you're the first team to beat Tennessee in a conference series this year. Tennessee's first conference series loss. Beating Tennessee now back-to-back series, first time in program history. What does that all mean? And to do it the way you did, where you drop a tough first game, Ashley Rogers is fantastic, but this young group fights back and wins the next 2. What is all that? When I say all that, what comes to your mind?
Well, I just think I don't ever think of it on that level. I just literally am just really, really happy with the way our team fought. So I never think of it like that, and I don't know those things. I was watching back one of the replays, and it's like, first time Tennessee has won here since like 17. And it's like, okay, well, it's the first time they played here since 17. So let's make sure we have all the facts. But it's, when you look at that lineup, I look at their team, and I think they look a lot like who we were last year. And to see this young team come together and fight and find a way to win a series, it's so huge for them. It's huge because we know we can do it. We put it together, and I just am proud of them. I don't know. It's a pretty good run, I guess. You get them in back-to-back years. They're really good. But this team's really good too. And so I'm really proud of them.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you, Eric. Ethan.
Courtney, last thing from me. speaking of senior classes, last year you beamed about that senior class kind of building the environment that's at Bogle Park. What's it like to have KB sides in the house for a weekend and see even that bar continue to be pushed with record crowds?
It's really cool. I love when our players come home and are proud to come home and watch a program that they helped build, and they just have pride in what they did. I looked at the crowd tonight and I was it hits me it hits me a couple times a year, and I looked at the crowd tonight and I was like, this is a Monday night. And when you watch Monday nights, if you ask anybody across the conference, it's the hardest night to fill. We have really great crowds across the conference, and Mondays are just tough. And you walk out and our berm's full and our chairbacks are full. And one, it's the matchup, and they know it's a really big matchup and it's their rubber match. But our fan base is incredible. And so when a KB sides comes back and we have Hannah McEwen in the stands a lot. She lives here, Autumn Storms. Well, they built this fan base. They built this program into a program that these fans have attached to and connected with. And so when you come out and the stands are full and the berm's full on a Monday night, it's just you beam with pride of what those players built and this program in which these fans are just love and support. And we have the best fan base, best fans in the country.
Order episode.
I have a kind of a statement then question. It's funny that y'all asked that leading, because I had asked Braxton Burnside in 5 years, if you could come back, what would you see this program? And she just described exactly what tonight was, a Monday night where she could come back and the stands were filled, the berm was filled. And then, on senior weekend, you have two freshmen, like Hannah, and having her sister behind the plate and really that growth, and just what part has she really played into her growth at a time where she needs to kind of ream it down a little bit. She has her sister there right there behind the plate to pick her back up.
Well, I think that's really big. They have a connection that unless you're a twin, like I'm really close with my sister, she's my best friend. And I don't think we can even scratch the surface of the connection that Lo and Ha have as twins. They just are so in sync. And so there's just this comfort and confidence that they have in each other. And it's just really, really cool to see. They work together so well. They have this unconditional support and accountability and love for each other that you just really do wish your team could emulate. That's I say this a bit when I'm asked about them. It's like the way they communicate. I wish our whole team communicated like that, because they know they love each other. It's just like how we communicate with our siblings. I can tell my sister when she's being annoying, which she never is, in case she's watching this. No, but they communicate in a way that you wish your team could, because they communicate directly. They get to it and then they walk away and they know they love each other. And so it's really cool to see them work and their relationship. And it's glad I get to see it for 4 years.
All right. Thank you, Coach Deifel.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.